Welcome to Speak Up with Jane. I started this channel because I firmly believe, in fact, I know that every single person's voice is worthy of being heard. What I also know is that the majority of people feel they are neither empowered nor equipped to speak up and show up in their daily communication. All eyes on me. Hi, I'm Jane. Over my years as a speaking and communication coach, I've realized that very few people are ever taught the skills to communicate and speak up effectively. We're taught everything else. We're taught to read, we're taught to write, we're taught to do mathematics, but somehow we believe that the ability to communicate and convey our thoughts effectively will just be picked up along the way, that we don't need to study them or figure out how to do it effectively. It's just a natural process. And largely, most of it is. Then what happens? You get to late teenage or early adulthood, and you soon figure out that every single relationship is based upon speaking. You cannot have a relationship with someone unless you talk to them first. You cannot form a connection with a person or group of people unless you speak to them. Speaking is the glue that holds civilizations together. We need to be able to communicate in order to move forward, whether it's in our business lives in terms of our careers, or whether it's in our social relationships in our private life. We need to learn how to communicate effectively. But as I said, we're never really taught that. You'll find that this is playing out in your own life if you see yourself in any of the next few examples. Have you ever been in a room where you want to speak up, you want to share your thoughts and join in the conversation, but anxiety holds you back? You feel that you're just not going to be able to express yourself the way you'd like to. Maybe you even have physical sensations where your heart races or your mouth gets very dry, your voice gets all squeaky. Those are situations where you haven't been shown the tips and the techniques to calm down the anxiety and join in the conversation. Have you ever been in a situation, potentially a business situation, where you're constantly spoken over or constantly interrupted? You might even be the most senior person in the room, leading the team, and yet others feel empowered, possibly even entitled, to interrupt you or speak over you. This again, there are ways of dealing with this. There are effective tools that will help you move past this situation and eventually stop them from doing it. Or possibly you've been in a situation where you need to enter into a difficult or complex discussion with something. Maybe you're explaining something very tricky or technical to someone at work, or maybe you're about to have a difficult discussion with a family member or a teenage child, an elderly parent. And the way you had envisaged the conversation going, it doesn't. You end up digressing, you end up rambling or becoming overheated or too quiet. There are all tools and techniques to deal with that. Every single one of these situations can be handled through effective learning of communication. It's doable, it's simple, and it can be put into effect straight away. If this sounds like something that you would be interested in learning, if this is something that would help you in your daily life, then jump to my first video and see what I'm talking about. It is the base foundation of strong public speaking skills, and it is an easy tip that you can start to practice from the moment you hear about it. Also, please like and subscribe, and definitely I would love your comments. Areas that you're struggling with in your communication, just pop them in the comments and I promise I will address them and figure out a way through them so that you can become the most powerful and effective communicator that you would like to be. I'll see you back next week, because remember, the time to speak up is now. All eyes on me.